So I'm Linda Gild. I am the CEO of the Talented Alliance of Part-Time Professionals.
And I am Tanya Gomes, and I work with communications and client relations for TAP.
Awesome. And we thought we'd take a few minutes and talk a little bit about why now is a great time to position yourself for success in finding a part-time job that you would love to do. So we're going to make this fairly short, but we hope that there's some value to you.
So now, Linda, why do you think now, in what they call the era of great resignation, is a good time to start looking for a part-time position?
There's a lot of reasons, but one of them, as you just mentioned, there's a great resignation happening where people are deciding that working full-time in where they had been is no longer right for them. And they're really not kind of stopping and saying there may be another option of either staying in that company in a different position, reducing their hours. But it also is leaving this huge gap in the workforce where there's a lot of open positions, and people who opt to be a little bit creative can start to design the job that they want to work for the company that they want. So, when it's an employee time to hire, to find the right job, it's for the employee, not the employer.
And what kind of, who works part-time? Why would you look for part-time versus full-time, for example?
It's interesting when you stop and realize how many different industries have part-time. I know dentists that work part-time. I know executives that work part-time. So it's everything from what you traditionally might think in the retail industry, and that obviously is a big part of our economy, all the way up to there are part-time CEOs and executive directors in association management. So you really can find people working part-time in most industries. And I only say most because I'm sure someone can prove me wrong and find an industry where someone is not working part-time. But I think it's actually more rare than you would think to not have someone working part-time in a specific industry.
And how do we define part-time in that scenario?
So part-time can be anything from a few hours a week all the way up to 32. I believe that the U.S. government and the Department of Labor defines part-time as 32 hours or less. And that is, I think, based on the standard of a 40-hour work week. Most people, when they think part-time, are going to think more in the vicinity of 20 to 25 hours per week.
Excellent. And then I know that TAP is actually going to kick off and launch our new positioning yourself for success. What does positioning yourself for success mean as far as a course?
So what we're doing with this course is helping the individual figure out what type of work and role they're really looking for. And by taking a step back and not automatically saying, oh, I've always done accounting, so I must do accounting, or I've always done marketing, so I must do marketing. And in a specific, say you've been in a university, helping them to understand what they really liked about previous jobs, what their personality is all about, and what role and why they're working. To me, I think oftentimes we forget to think about, why do I want to work? And am I working part-time because I am looking to interact with, for example, other adults? If I had small children at home, I might want to work outside the home to have interaction. And so even if I love editing and want to be a book editor, I may not want to do that at home for 20 hours a week because it's not going to fulfill the piece of the fact that I want some social interaction. So I want to help someone look at themselves really holistically, understand what they're good at, what they've done in the past that they really love, what they want to try, and then put that together to help them position and identify where they'd be good and be able to state that value to potential companies and be excited about it. Because if someone comes and says, I'm really good at this, and this is why I can help you further your business goals, that's really exciting to a company, to be honest. So I think there's a lot to understand about yourself to put yourself in that right role.
Right. So when somebody is thinking about, they're in the job market now, they're putting their resume together and looking for it, and they come across this course, what kinds of things are they going to find most useful? That what are some of the key takeaways that they'll be able to utilize from this?
So first off, we're going to do some personality assessments and there's so many different ones out there, and take a look and understand, what drives them and what drains them. So that introvert and extrovert piece of it, which is where do you get your energy from? And what does that mean for you in the workplace? Some people maybe consider themselves introvert. I heard an interview with a US general the other day, and he said, I was a huge introvert, but his role didn't reflect that, and that's okay, right? So understanding that and understanding that he needed to recharge. So you're going to understand that piece of it for yourself. There's going to be exercises where you're going to go through and rank what you've done in the past, and kind of think through the days. Like sometimes people might really love like a conversation like this might be a lot of fun to some people, but when they realize that they can do it in short spurts, but they couldn't spend the whole day doing it. So helping them to understand those pieces. And then we're going to discuss some transferable skills. So if someone, for example, had been working in a hospital and thinks that they might want to try a different environment, we'll talk through how do you find roles that might be using some of the things that you loved from working in a hospital, and where could you transfer it? So, and it's going to be a dialogue. I mean, that's what's going to be fun with it, is to hear different people's stories and help them figure out what's right for them. There's no right as we come out of it, except for what feels right to the individual. It's not, everyone's going to have a different path when they walk away from this course. And I think each person may take something slightly different from it.
So that sounds great, especially for people in the job market, and how to, have people really feel like they can stand out in this job market. When can we expect this to hit the presses?
So people can sign up now. Our first course, we're offering it, it's a 4-week course. It's going to be offered twice a week. And the format is you can either just attend one session a week. We will record it. You can attend both if you want to see if there's different questions asked during the time period, which may bring a different result for you. You don't have to choose in advance. So the first class is on March 22nd, and we will have the link in our bio. So if you want to sign up, you can do it. There is a cost involved. The investment in yourself is $297, and it includes all the recordings. We're going to have some special bonus recordings for you, and worksheets and a budget. Oh, we didn't talk about the budgeting worksheet. One of the things that for part-time sometimes is, can I afford to work part-time? And if what you bring home is really important, it helps you to understand, what do I need to negotiate in salary so that I'm comfortable with what I bring home at the end of the day? And that's super important at all times. And then you add in if you need to drive somewhere, because right now gas is a little bit on the expensive side. If you're watching this and you have filled up your tank recently, you know what I'm talking about. So we have a budgeting worksheet to help you think that piece through, because we want you to come from a position of power of what you know that you're worth, and then what you need to ask for. So
this is excellent. So, yep, click on the link in the bio to find out more, and save your seat, reserve your seat, be that first one in, position yourself for part-time.
Awesome. And we look forward to seeing you there. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or Tanya, and we're excited to talk with you further. Thank you.
Thanks.